today I have a review for you on the new Covergirl Outlast Stay Luminous Natural Glow Foundation. This is a new foundation that is similar to the one that has the blue, which is like a super long-lasting foundation, but this is the luminous version. I'm not a fan of like super long-lasting matte foundations just because I have dry skin and I feel like it accentuates my dry skin. So when I saw that they came out with the luminous one, I definitely wanted to pick it up and do a review for you. I found this at my local Shoppers and it was around $14.99 Canadian, which I think is a little bit more expensive than one you can find in the States, but with the dollar conversion I think it's quite similar. This is probably one of the cheaper drugstore foundations at $14.99. Most of the drugstore foundations are a little bit more expensive in Canada, so I was pleased that it was only $14.99, and you do get the normal 1 fluid ounce with the product. I picked up my shade in number 810 Classic Ivory, which I think was the lightest shade of the entire collection. I think I could have gone down one shade, but I wanted to make sure to stay light with my foundation just because I do like a little bit more of a sheer coverage, and I do like my foundations, if anything, a little bit more light than a little bit more dark because you can always bronze up the skin. Overall, I think this foundation is nice. I don't know if I would run out and purchase it. I don't think I'm gonna ever call it my holy grail. I will eventually use it up, but I don't think I'm going to be using this daily. I like more of a dewy luminous foundation, and I thought that by it saying luminous foundation it would be more luminous, but I think that's maybe more of my mistake because it is in the Outlast, which means a longer lasting foundation. I don't think it's going to be as luminous as I wanted. I think it is a nice option for a foundation that is supposed to stay longer. Most of the foundations that are meant to stay on really well are really drying on my skin, and I don't find this one overly drying on my skin, but it's just not as luminous as I want it to be. Overall, I think that it is more of a natural finish. It doesn't necessarily accentuate any of my dry patches, although if I haven't exfoliated properly, it will settle into those areas, but nothing that is extreme or nothing that I probably couldn't touch up with some Fix Plus or some sort of setting spray. I think that it does last quite a long time, so that is a nice aspect to it. You don't find it migrating or moving around at all, although I never find that to be the case with my skin with foundation because I do have dry skin. Most foundations tend to last throughout the entire day and look almost the same throughout the day just because I don't have really any oils in my skin for it to move around. I will say though that on initial application I really do like it. I think it looks really natural on my skin, nothing that looks too cakey or anything like that, but as the day goes on it does get to look a little bit cakey, but I think that might just be due to my dry skin. I think that maybe because my skin is dry and this is more of like a stay put foundation, it accentuates the dryness in my skin throughout the day, so by the end of the day it can look a little bit cakey, but nothing that probably couldn't be fixed if I wanted to rehydrate with a setting spray or a moisture mist. On the bottle it says give skin even coverage, which I would agree. I don't have that much to cover up. I usually don't wear foundations normally, so I mean I think that maybe it has a medium coverage. I think that it is buildable though because I usually use about one or a little bit more than one pump on my skin just to sheer it out. I think that you definitely could use two and get more of a full coverage foundation, so I do agree it does give skin even coverage, and it does say natural glow that lasts all day. I mean, it depends what you classify as natural glow. I don't think it's as dewy or as luminous as a natural glow usually is, but I think that it doesn't overly matte my skin and it is sort of a natural look to my skin. So I will agree that it is natural, but I don't know about that glow. I don't think it's as luminous as it says it is or as luminous as I want it to be, especially with dry skin. I think that maybe on someone with oily skin, this might be a little bit more luminous because your natural oils will kind of come through and be a little bit more luminous. So I would be interested to see how it works for oily skin, but it's not quite as luminous as I want for dry skin. Overall, I'm happy I have it. I will continue to use it. I think that it is a nice foundation. It's a nice foundation because it adds coverage, but you can really sheer it out without making it look too cakey or anything like that. So I will continue to use it. I don't think it will ever be my holy grail foundation, and I don't know if I would necessarily buy it again once I'm done this bottle, but I mean this bottle will probably last me a really long time because I don't wear foundation daily and I also don't love it, so I probably wouldn't reach for it every day. I am wearing today and I felt like it did even out my skin tone really well. I do have a lot of redness around my nose and I didn't need to use concealer on top of it. It did settle into a little bit of my dryness around my nose. I have a little bit of dryness around my nose because of allergies right now, but I think that most foundations kind of settle into the dryness. You just need to make sure you exfoliate properly. I felt like it went on really well. It blended really well. I do use a smoothing primer on sort of my nose area, my T-zone area, just to help the foundation go on smoothly. necessarily, but I felt like it blended really nicely. It went on really nicely and I didn't need to put a lot of effort into blending it. If you've tried this foundation, let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe because I will be doing lots of upcoming reviews on all the new makeup I've gotten recently. And thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned.